to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Hello, Mike.
How are you, my friend?
Very well. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Another lousy night of sleep on my couch bed.
Maybe go to the bed.
I did. I actually went to the couch bed, but it's just one of those restless nights where I keep waking up.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you have a My pillow topper on your couch bed?
They don't make them for the couch beds.
Yeah, they make them for your bed, though, and you have one. Do
Yeah.
you have Giza sheets on the couch bed?
No, they don't make Giza sheets
yeah,
for
they
couch
make them
beds.
for your bed, and you've got them on your bed.
Yeah,
so,
I do.
They're Giza. It's the Giza cotton.
Yes, it's like 3 feet long. It's amazing. Where the Jordan meets the Peely River. It's just one spot on the planet. I bought all of it.
So maybe go to the bed. I don't know.
Yeah. God, I got to work my way up there.
Dude,
it's like
You have a
6
huge TV in your
steps.
bedroom, don't you?
Yeah.
that's what I don't get. The reason I don't get why you don't sleep in your because for me, I know it's bad and I know it's so bad for you, and I've been trying to sleep in my bed more, but I just like the comfort of TV. I don't have one in my room.
It's the blue screen, gentlemen. You can't have the blue light going on.
I understand. I
Any
know
of
it's
them.
shitty. But my point of
No,
saying
I have
this is
personal reasons that I don't want to get into as part
Okay.
of it.
Well,
the other
it sounds like we ought to get into
yeah,
some
we're
of
not
those.
going to. The other reason is
You
I
pee
have
the bed, don't you? Do you pee the bed?
Ever since I got Giza sheets, I just can't help it. I get in such a deep snuggle that I whiz myself all night.
Personal reasons as to why he won't go in his
off
bed.
the air, I'll talk to you about
Jesus,
it.
this is very interesting.
Yeah, well, whatever. I'm not getting into it on the air. Anyway, has nothing to do with bedwetting.
Wow,
But more importantly, I have Netflix downstairs, and I don't have it on the TV upstairs.
you don't have a smart,
I don't have
a smart TV.
It's kind of a dumbass TV, dude. It doesn't really. I mean, it wants to. It acts like it has ability to get apps, but then I'm like Netflix, and it's
Chromecast?
like,
Chromecast?
I don't know what to do.
No, there are some of those annoying older. If it's a little older, I remember my parents had one where it was like they had.
Why don't you throw your
Netflix, but
Xbox
they
up there?
didn't
Why don't
have-
you get a Chromecast? What?
Now that you could. Do.
well, I have the PS3 up there. I
you
just
go.
haven't. I haven't.
now that's
done it
pretty
all.
easy. Now that's
I
pretty
haven't.
easy.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, this is why I've got the couch bed. Don't mock the couch bed.
Well, it's causing you problems. You can't sleep on the couch bed anymore. I'm trying to help you.
I know, but I've been on the couch bed for a couple months, and I haven't had problems until very, very recently. Don't automatically assume it's the couch bed's fault. Anyways. Do you want to get into Iran today?
No.
I know. It's kind of how I felt, you know?
I don't know enough about it to say whether it's a good idea or not a good idea to be in this joint operating, whatever it was called, agreement that Obama entered. I mean, there was a lot of criticism at the time. There's a lot of criticism over the years. Trump ran on the notion that it was the worst deal ever entered in the world, in the history of the world.
Mankind, worst deal ever. He did say, I'm getting the fuck out of this deal, period. He
It was
ran on that.
troubling to see that video of them dropping off pallets of our
Dude.
cash, pallets upon pallets of our cash
In
to
the middle of the
Iran.
night.
Yeah.
In a jet. That part of the
That
story.
was troubling. It's also troubling
Yeah.
to have revealed the fact that missiles were not involved in the
Ballistic
agreement,
missiles.
ballistic missiles, thereby causing some of our allies in the region some consternation.
Yes. So, what they basically, because I wanted to read up a little bit on it and know, like, well, what was the deal? What was so important about it? Because there were really short expiration dates where it's like 15 years goes by in the blink of an eye. People our age understand how quick 15 years
Seems
is.
to delay the inevitable in a lot of respects, whereas Trump's apparent view is, no, let's denuclearize these asshole
The
countries.
Middle East, yes. We don't want them having bombs.
That's what he's in the midst of doing in North Korea, and that's probably going to be his approach as to Iran as well. Not,
Yes.
let's have you liar nation that chants death to America,
Mm-hmm.
use these things responsibly. No, rather it's, get the fuck out of here. You're not going to have these
Yes. They've got one of their sites like buried deep into a mountain, and it's like, well, yeah. Anytime these asshole politicians, and it was Obama for in this case, sanctions will be put in place, and officials will be able to go in anytime unannounced and check it out, look around, and
Right.
make sure everything's cool. And it sounds like that's bullshit. That they're just like, yeah, no, you're not coming in here. You can come and look at this stuff here in the main lobby. But as far as getting in the back room, that's employees only. Jack, get out of here.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I wonder what's going on in the back room then.
Seems like there's a lot of reliance on good faith on
Yeah.
the two sides in deals like this. And
Yeah.
when you have a country, again, that's chanting death to America every 2 minutes, there's not a lot of good faith.
It's funny because whenever I read these, like, first off, I'm just troubled. I don't know why, but anytime someone calls themselves a supreme leader, I just, you know what I mean? It's like, oh man, boy, the ego to be a supreme leader. So right there, I lose respect for these guys. But their supreme leader, when they make quotes about another country, it's like I try to picture like, and it's hard now because Trump would, little rocket man, say dumb shit, but you can't picture like Obama or Clinton or Bush making statements like these guys would make, and one of them was, America can't do a damn thing is politicians are burning the U.S. flag inside Parliament, okay, in the wake of Trump's decision. Without elaborating, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei accused the U.S. president of 10 lies during the announcement. And so they're all chanting death to America while the flag's burning in Parliament, which is kind of odd. Politicians are chanting this, not just people in the street.
Right.
Politicians. And so he referred to Trump. He says,
This man will turn to dust. His body will become food for snakes and ants. And the Islamic Republic will be standing.
That's the sensibility we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Sort of, I don't know, 3rd century kind of shit.
I said many times from the first day, don't trust America. I don't trust these countries, Britain, France, Germany. He had more than 10 lies in his comments. He threatened the regime and the people, saying, I'll do this and that. Mr. Trump, I tell you on behalf of the Iranian people, you've made a mistake. So going back really quick to what that deal had imposed. So just to put it in some context, the whole thing with Obama was we don't want them having capabilities of building a bomb. As you say, on good faith.
Yeah.
If we could take your word.
A word is as strong as oak.
Yeah. Don't do it now. You promised. Remember, what is a man without his word? Ayatollah, you supreme leader, you. So under the terms, Iran can only maintain a stockpile of 661 pounds of low-enriched uranium compared to the 220,000 pounds of high-enriched uranium they used to have. They can only enrich uranium at 3.67%, which can be used to fuel a reactor, but is far below the 90% needed for a bomb and a big weapon. And then you talk about the inspectors, they get access, which is horseshit. This is terrifying, too, when you talk about, like, North Korea, or you talk about Iran, and they want to get these bombs. Remember I mentioned Mark Levin the other day? And people started tweeting at me like, oh, yeah, Mark Levin's great, Check this out. And someone sent me a video of an interview Mark Levin did, and I started watching it yesterday. I didn't get through all of it, so I'll probably butcher this. But anyway, this guy was talking about, like, the real fear of one of these countries having a bomb, like a nuclear bomb, and setting it off. And he was talking about EMPs, which is the electromagnetic pull, okay? And he said, one of these bombs going off in space, right? You've got one of these nukes. It goes off in space, so it doesn't make any noise. You don't hear it, you don't feel it. But the electromagnetic pulse that triggers down could literally shut the world down as far as, like, electricity. And this is a guy that was on the, he's in the U.S. government board. He's talking about this, and he's like, so what does that mean, really? He's like, yeah, every boom, boom, out go the lights, and they don't come back on for years. Like, it's done. Like you don't understand how buried underground transmitters are and how heavy they are. You would need to reconstruct roads and bridges just to move them, to get them out of the way to be replaced. It would take years. Lights are out. He said, I'm in my grocery store one day, and I pick up an apple. I'm in Washington, D.C. I pick up an apple, and I'm like, how did this get here? Something as simple as that. He said, like a true nerd, he's like, so I researched it. And I found out that it came from an orchard in Seattle, Washington. And there are hundreds of electronics that go into the process of pulling this out of the orchard and getting it on a fucking flatbed to get here. You don't have apples anymore around the country. He said, we have on reserve for 320 million Americans, we have a 30-day food supply. That's what we have. He said, so if something like that were to happen, and it can be from nature too, it doesn't have to be a bomb, but that was the big concern. If that goes down, within 1 year's time, they estimate that the U.S. population would drop 90%. We would lose 90% of our population to famine, disease, and starvation in 1 year. I'd be gone in the first 30 days, for sure.
Well, there'd be no reason for the couch bed anymore. You know,
Yeah,
you
that's
could
true. You
head
could have it if you
back up to
wanted.
the geishas.
Yeah. He was talking about the
Sleep soundly.
the sun, and this scared me too. He's like, every 150 years, there's a big sun explosion that gives off this thing too. And the last time it happened was 150 years ago. And they estimate every 100 to 150 years ago this phenomenon happens. It happened, but the electronics at the time were the very new telegraph. And it blew up everything. All of them wiped out, fried all of them. This little button, he said, we have way more electronics today. So, I don't know, any day now.
Yeah.
Should be happening any day now.
I'm taking my grain of salt right now. But
Are
go
you?
ahead. Yeah, dude, Mark Levin, far right winger. Who's he going to have on? You
Yeah.
know, it's just
Why does that matter? If this guy's just talking about,
because Mark Levin has an agenda and he has a certain person that he puts on. So
I wasn't even thinking about that.
well, I've never heard this whole apocalyptic type scenario from
Yeah.
a nuclear weapon being shot into space. So
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. You'd think you'd hear more about it from a range of pundits.
Well, he was saying that people don't want anything to do with it because there's nothing you can do about it, and so high up politicians are like, don't even tell me about it, because there's literally nothing you can do anyways.
Hey, Zot Ford, their famous spring fling is finally here. It was a long, cold winter, as you know, but it's time to sell a lot of vehicles and get back on track. Here's a deal even Easus can afford. It's a sign and drive lease on select new all-wheel drive 18 Ford Escapes for just $222 a month, zero cash due. Also, they dropped the price on select new 18 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4s, almost $13,000. It's over 30% off. See details in their massive inventory at dealsinthed.com.
See, our Americans are coming home from North Korea.
I know.
Mike
On
Pompeo.
their way back with Pompeo.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, man.
That is. It's great.
That's big news. To have 3 Americans doing decades of hard labor in North Korea, and Trump went, of course, on Twitter and said Mike Pompeo has secured the release of the 3 Americans by the regime.
Also, the date and site is set for his meeting.
Oh,
with
did they
him.
announce that? Did he announce that?
That's what he said in the same tweet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What did he say? What time? I didn't
Nope.
notice
He
that.
just said date and site are set.
Oh, good. I'm pleased to inform you that Secretary of State Pompeo is in the air on his way back from North Korea with 3 wonderful gentlemen that everyone is looking so forward to meeting. They seem to be in good health. Secretary Pompeo and his guests will be landing at Andrews Air Force Base at 2 a.m. I will be there to greet them. Very exciting. That's great. So we've got Korean-American missionary Kim Dong-chul, Kim Sang-duk, also known as Tony. Tone's on his way back. What up, Aunt? And Kim Hak Song. So, yeah, that's cool. The last one to be released.
Yeah, there's a 4th, right? Wasn't there a 4th that was in question or no?
Oh, well, you're not talking about Larry, are you?
No.
Yeah, 'cause
no.
they-
There's. I thought there was a 4th.
Huh. I didn't. I've only heard about the 3.
Okay.
I feel stupid right now. All this, you're correcting me on stuff I just wasn't aware of. You're right, though. Date and time is set.
Oh,
See,
right.
now in my notes. So before Wednesday, the only American released by North Korea during Trump's presidency was Otto Larry Warmbier.
Ooh, if you call that a release.
Yeah, I know.
He
Hopefully it
was
goes better
fluffed up.
for Tony and the boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. That's good, man. Good. I'm glad things are moving forward there. The Mormon Church.
Backing out of the Boy Scouts, right?
Yeah, that's a big deal, dude. I had no idea how much of the Boy Scouts were made up by the Mormon
Oh,
Church.
really?
Huge. 20% of the
Oh,
Boy Scouts is the
goodness.
Mormon Church. They force every boy to go through that.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. They've been with him 105 years. I didn't know that either.
Mormons have been around for 105 years. Holy shit.
Yeah, they're right out of the gate with them. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Boy, that name has always weirded me out. I don't know why.
There was a lot about them in that West documentary I was talking about when I watched when I was talking about the Indians, because
Yeah,
like
Ken
they were
Burns
such a
thing.
big part of it too. Like literally most of the story was involved around Indians, and then the Mormons were a big part of it just because they were wanting to live this church life that they had described, that they wanted, and it was just like the Americans have never been okay with like the multiple wives and all that stuff. So it was a big fight. Like a lot of that documentary focused on that too, actually.
Yeah. Well, the Mormons, I don't know if they're saying the right things, because is it the chicks being let in the group that was the straw that broke the dromedary's back? Or?
Maybe. I mean, that was the big news last week, right? That they were dropping the word boy, and it was going to be chicks and boys included.
I think it's more the homo thing. Like, the Mormons do not like homos. Like, that's their thing. They've got a real distaste for that. And so when in, like, 13 and 15, they started announcing, like, yeah, we're going to let homos in, and we're going to let trans people in. And they were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. No problem. That's cool. Deep breaths in and out. And then when they went, oh, yeah, by the way, we're going to let homo leaders in, too, they were like, what? No! Fuck! No! No!
Dude, your deep breath is concerning me. Don't do that. Stop, Mike.
Why?
Stop.
He's worked up. He's pissed.
I'm worried about your deep breath.
My deep breath's fine. So, yeah, that was that. I think that's really what pissed them off. They have not cited specific issues, but the openly gay troop leaders, it sounds like, as I'm reading between the lines here, not happy about that. The Scouts said they were deeply troubled by the decision to lift the ban on the openly gay adult leaders in 2015, and that's a quote. So, spokesman for the Scouts of America told the Washington Post last year that the move was tied to the church's desire for a youth program that focused more on preparing teenage Mormon boys to go on church missions.
They all have to do that, right?
Well, they dumped out of a couple years ago. They started to break this down because I guess there's multiple levels to the Boy Scouts. You got the younger kids in the Cub Scouts, and then the Boy Scouts going on to Eagle Scouts. They were dumping the older one for some reason, and they were going to start their own youth program to better prepare them for that. That's what they were saying. But then people are like, yeah, it's really about the gay thing.
Why didn't they drop out in 15 then? It had to be this recent news, right? That was the dromedary's back.
Maybe. The Mormon Church opposes same-sex marriage, teaches that sex outside of marriage is a sin, and does not allow openly gay men or women to hold church leadership roles at all. Period.
You can have as many wives as possible. Like,
yeah,
it's like,
it on, man.
How dare you sleep like with another one? Well, as long as it's one of your 30 wives, then it's okay.
You can have 10 wives, just don't even think about putting your helmet in that butthole. God damn you! Get out of here! Filthy. Did you ever think we'd see the day, Jay, where Bill and Ted would be coming back at us?
Dude, this is so unnecessary. This is not a good move. Not a good move, Mike.
See, where did you land on Spaceballs?
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Because I remember, for some reason, like when we were in high school, going to movies together, like a bunch of us, and you having less fun than some of us at some of these movies. And I want to say Bill and Ted was one of them that you just weren't like.
I always kind of thought, like, what am I doing watching this? This is really, even at the time, this is dumb, man. This is really dumb. There didn't seem to be anything, any thread of it that really fucking cracked me up or anything like that. I was just like, kind of waiting for it to take hold of me, and it never did. And I don't think I saw the second one.
I don't think I did either, but I think I really liked the first one. And they weren't that far apart. Like, one came out in 89 and one came out in 91,
right,
which is the year we graduated. But, yeah, it definitely, without question, is one of those movies you're like, oh, yeah, you wouldn't want to watch that now.
No way.
It would just be stupid as hell.
But yet they're doing a third one.
Yeah.
With Alex Winter as Bill and Keanu Reeves as Ted.
Yeah. Yes.
Fuck.
I know. It's written by the franchise's creators, Chris Matheson.
It'll be consistently great, like their other two.
And Ed Solomon. Steven Soderbergh serves as executive producer. And so I'm trying to remember what the plot was where we left them off.
I'm not sure where we left them off. I remember Excellent Adventure was George Carlin, I guess a godlike figure, something like that.
Yeah.
He comes to them. Something's amiss at the Circle K. And to this day, I do not see a Circle K without that going
thinking
across
about
my
that.
mind.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
oh, something's amiss at the Circle K. He comes to these two assholes who are just high school.
Is this part 2 or part 1?
Part one. And he's
okay.
He's like, you've gotta go back in time and get all these historical figures to write a report or something.
Is it that they have to graduate And so they must, I just don't remember, but yeah, they have to go back in time and collect historical figures like Napoleon, Socrates,
Who they call Socrates. Abe Lincoln, Genghis Khan,
Yep.
Joan of Arc.
And then they lose them, like they take them to a water park, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden Napoleon's like off and running wild somewhere, and
Going headfirst down the water slide. There's
Yeah.
Napoleon, of course, he's got his period hat on. And
Yeah,
garbs.
yeah.
It's really,
and they don't
outlandish.
fit into society
They're
at
at the
all.
mall on a skateboard. There's Genghis Khan. It's just
Don't they
goofy
take
as fuck.
Don't they take Napoleon to like the Piggly Wiggly or something? And he's eating a giant sundae.
Piggly Wigglies are super Mario. It's some pig out, ice cream
Yeah.
place like a Farrell's, yeah.
Yeah, and so there were fun. I remember being entertained by those scenes, like them running around like Genghis Khan wants to kill everybody just because that's what his time
what he
period is
does,
like,
yeah.
you know. And it's like, just stop, dude. You can't
on,
kill
dude.
people, brah.
Yeah.
It's not cool, dude.
Yeah, and then the air guitar. God, man.
Yeah, the air. You see, that's the problem too. You've never been a fan of the air guitar.
Fuck. It was just, even then, I felt like I was cringing.
Yeah.
I wonder if people out there are more like me or more like you in respect to that movie. I wonder if people got into it or were just like,
It's probably one of those like what are like super culty movies. Like there's probably a really big cult following for those movies. You know, I
Maybe,
wouldn't be surprised if they had like special showings once a year where people dress up and go there and in the seats. You know, if you don't know what I'm doing, I'm holding up an air guitar like I'm soloing because they would do this. There would be like a guitar sound effect lick in the movie.
it was such an overacting of the stoner dude, though.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, what? Head
Horrible acting.
Yeah, head cocked, look at each other. Oh, what? I can't believe Keanu Reeves was part of that. Honestly.
I know.
Given the trajectory of where he went,
And is
not,
now?
Not that he's like a great actor, but he was fucking. He's a big name, obviously.
Dude, The
He's
Matrix,
done a lot of shit.
and he's in the John Wick run right now, which is huge.
But everybody who doesn't like Keanu Reeves is because of his acting. It's like, dude, he's just
Yeah.
he's just doing that kind of stoner, just
Yeah. Me, bro.
Yeah.
You, dude. You know, the whole sands through the hourglass. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horribly acted. So anyway, their destiny in life and what you were getting to, there's brewing at the Circle K, is Carlin tells them that they're going to save the world by writing the greatest song ever. Right?
Did he do that in number 1 or 2?
Might have been 2. But that's where the story's going to pick
Yeah.
up, is now. And I don't hate this idea. They're now 50 years old and they have kids
Yeah.
and responsibilities.
Yeah.
And they realize that they haven't written the world's greatest song yet. They've written thousands of songs that suck balls. And they haven't written the world's greatest song yet.
Shit.
And so they need to go back and time travel so that they can, as the world is starting to fall apart, they can fulfill their destiny of saving the world by writing the world's greatest rock and roll song ever.
What was their band name? The Wild Stallions? Or
Oh
some
my
shit?
God, dude, you might be right.
Yeah.
Is that Death?
Oh, Death was in the
Death was
second
in
one.
Bogus Journey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. Dude, Death is bogus. Death is bogus.
So bad.
Oh my God.
69 was a big part of that. You know,
Yeah.
"Oh, 69. What's your favorite number?
I was because I've heard rumblings of like Bill and Ted over these, and it's like there is no friggin' way Keanu Reeves is going back to that franchise.
This is a way worse idea than Dumb and Dumber 2 or whatever they call it.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, this is a way worse idea than that.
You
Like
think
Dumb
so?
and Dumber, at least, yeah, that had some chops in some respects. Like I think,
Yeah, there's some good comedy in that for sure.
you know, to the extent you like the original Bill and Ted, it's just like, okay, tongue-in-cheek, campy bullshit gives me a laugh because I'm stoned.
Yeah.
Whereas Dumb and Dumber is like, all right, that's got some decent comedy there. I could see
Very
the
much
second one
so.
being pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but
And the actors in that movie were strong. Jeff Daniels is a strong actor.
yeah. But I've mentioned this before. I think
I know you
way overacted the dumb guy.
Yeah.
I think it's his worst role ever
See, I know
by
you do.
far.
But Jim Carrey is accused of overacting shit too. But my point is, when you look at Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves in Bill and Ted, it's horrific acting. It's not even acting.
I'm gonna go so far to say Alex Winter is better than Keanu Reeves.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Bogus. Bro. Dude.
They did, bro was not a thing back then. Like you got to take that out
What
of your
was
vernacular.
it? Dude and dude.
That's it.
Are you sure he didn't go,
There was no bra. Bra didn't exist until.
bro? Did bro exist then?
No, I don't think so.
No. So anyway, they think that because that there's this certain generation, the nostalgia factor alone will kick in. Are we setting ourselves up for big disappointment? Because we have to see it, right?
Maybe 10 or 15 minutes of it on Netflix or something like that, but I do not see people paying for this, man.
Yeah. Well, I was as big of a fan of Dumb and Dumber as you can possibly get. I saw it multiple times in the theater. I still laugh my ass up when I watch Dumb and Dumber. It is hilarious to me. I didn't go to the theater to watch number 3, and I got through maybe.
Well, there was a Dumb and Dumber.
There was Dumber
without them.
two and a half or something.
No,
wasn't
there was a Dumb and Dumber that did not involve them in any capacity, and then when they did theirs, it was Dumb and Dumber, Dumb and Dumb 2, TOO instead of TWO.
Really?
That's right. That's
So
right.
that's what it was. And the Dumb and Dumber was.
Two different actors that
Yeah,
looked
it wasn't
like
even.
them.
Yeah, it was.
That's right.
It wasn't even.
It's them as kids or something?
Yeah, I think they were. It's how they met actually, or something. They were like in
Yeah, it
high
was a
school or
prequel.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
was a
don't
prequel.
consider that the
I don't
third
even. I don't
movie.
consider it
Okay.
at all either.
I consider
point.
Dumb and Dumber 2 as the second movie. And
Yes.
only
Okay.
there are 2 movies.
And so I watched about 15 minutes of that one on HBO or Netflix, one of those, and just had to shut it off. I cannot tell you how big of a fan of the original I am. And so it was like, oof. So I don't know.
Dude, that's
maybe-
how I was with that David Spade movie too. What was the fucking
Joe Dirt.
Joe? I love Joe Dirt. I legit like.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
I watched it several times.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
a
they
good
had
movie.
Joe Dirt too with him and the same cast of characters, and it was both. I think the same writers, and it was like I watched 10 minutes of it. And I was
Only way
like,
you
oh my
make it.
god, oh my god, this is dumb.
You like to see homos naked?
Home
is where you make it. Yeah, you like to see homos naked, man. Whatever, that's cool. No, there's some great lines in Joe Dirt, for sure, for sure.
So
Anyway.
look forward to that.
Yeah, I mean it's in pre-production. I mean it's a go. They've got-
happening.
dude, they have pictures of them like now, like they've already done a couple of shoots like that, and they're really excited. You know, like they actually said we couldn't be more excited to get the whole band back together. Chris and Ed wrote an amazing script.
Well, I mean,
We've
Keanu
got
Reeves.
a dream team.
Keanu Reeves, that seems shocking to me. It doesn't seem shocking about.
Oh, of
this
course not. Alex Winter hasn't done
like,
anything since.
I'm looking
Well-
at his stuff here. I mean, there's some things here and there.
You know what though? I'm almost positive. In fact, I'm so positive I'm gonna say it. I think I heard Alex Winter doing an episode of Joe Rogan's podcast, and it was fantastic.
Really?
And he's doing documentaries like bigly, like really in-depth shit about God, I can't remember. So yes, while you
Okay.
haven't seen him in anything, it's not. I think
Yeah,
he
not saying
stops.
he's not a valuable human being. Just saying
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
not a valuable actor.
As far like obviously there's more value to Keanu Reeves' life because of Speed and
course.
Matrix, right?
Point Break, man.
Exactly.
God, dude, you want to talk about another movie that when I was a kid, it seemed
Retarded.
so cool just because it was one of those
He
blockbusters.
couldn't go below
Below 50.
55 or something.
Like it just seemed it was one of
In
the
a-
first
in a
like
city bus.
blockbusters
Yeah.
I think I saw, where I was in the theater and it was like, oh my god, this is one of those movies. And you look at it now and what a dumb. And then there was a 2
In Los Angeles too, as if you're going to keep a fucking city bus going 50 for 2 hours.
Yeah.
With-
didn't they end up on an airstrip at
Yes.
LAX or something?
Yes.
Something like that, yeah.
And then there was a 2, and the 2 was even they were in a cruise ship, and they couldn't. And it was like the same.
Couldn't
concept.
slow down.
And it ends with
But
a
on a cruise ship, you can just hit the open water and
Yeah.
go. But I mean, you're not dealing with LA traffic.
Oh, no.
Circle the world forever.
Trust me, the cruise ship one still ended with the cruise ship like hitting land, and of course, they had to have a
How
scene of
stupid.
it busting through.
It's like
shit.
Liam Neeson doing Taken. It's like his daughter's been taken.
Again.
And there's Taken 2, and it's like, what, she was stolen again?
Again?
Jesus.
What are the chances?
Taken 3. Liam Neeson is not going to stand for this. And it's like,
This time it's
all
personal.
right. Yeah. His daughter keeps getting kidnapped. Fucking A, man.
Hey, this segment's brought to you by Mayer and Company Accountants. If you dread handling your business taxes as much as you dread having to see Bill and Ted Face the Music 3 on opening night, then let Kyle Mayer handle all that shit for you. Kyle's a pro. You can trust him. He doesn't just focus on year-end personal tax returns. In fact, a large part of his business is handling business taxes and bookkeeping. So call Kyle today. He's a pro. You can trust him. 248-521-0016. Ask for Kyle Mayer.
Lastly, on Bill and Ted, Jay, they're as they set out to time travel, they're going to be with their daughters. A new crop of historical figures will be in the mix, and some sympathetic music legends.
Man.
So is this where you get like Steven Tyler making a cameo?
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
You know what I mean? Like
Meatloaf, shit like that.
Dude, Meatloaf. Perfect.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler,
Yes.
Meatloaf. It's got to be people that easily identify. Alice Cooper?
Yes.
Could Alice Cooper
for
show
sure.
up somewhere?
With
Yeah.
the eye makeup, yeah. God.
Maybe Gene Simmons pops by in his boots. Every day above ground is a good day.
Why are they doing that, man? God, it's just so. It's just
okay.
the
It's
the
okay.
bullshit that Hollywood is churning out.
I know
Nobody
it's-
is going to make you go.
Oh, I
Don't
know.
worry about it. Don't
I'm
sweat
not worried.
this. I'm gonna get free tickets. We're gonna get media passes, and then we go. And if after 15 minutes you hear and dude, and you go, dude, I can't.
I'm
do
not.
this.
I'm
I
not
can't
going
do
even for
this.
15 minutes.
I'll
No.
pay for the gas. I'll drive you there. I'll pick you up.
No.
We'll try to get it to a theater by you. And as soon as you're, you can just go. I'm out. I'm out.
So bad.
Speaking of movies, rom-coms. You're a huge fan of the rom-com, are you not?
I am.
Jay, where do you land on the rom-com?
Boy, I can't think of one I've seen in the last 20 years. Name some rom. Is Titanic a rom com?
I would. I don't know.
It's kind of
That's
funny.
a good question.
Funny how all those people died at the end.
yeah.
Romantic. Definitely.
Yeah, that guy falling down
Yeah,
and hitting
that was
spinny
hilarious,
thing was
right?
fucking dynamite. And
Oh,
then
no,
Jack
dude.
freezing on that
Yeah.
raft. There was room for him too. Fatso could have let him on there. I don't know that qualifies as a rom-com.
Yeah,
I can't think of a rom com I've seen, honestly.
Bing famous rom-coms. We need a good.
I know, like Sleepless in Seattle.
There
would
you
pop up.
go.
I've never seen it.
Me either.
God, I don't know, but Notting Hill is the one that's in the news today.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of these.
When Harry Met Sally, I've seen that.
Love Actually.
No.
Chicks love
I've
that.
seen Pretty Woman.
Yep. Bridget Jones' Diary, 10 Things I Hate About You. Notting Hill makes a list.
Are anybody in Clueless? In here?
4 Weddings and a Funeral, Princess Bride, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Oh, man, that one bothered me. I like that one, though. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Yeah, there's.
With Kate and a young, what's his
Oh,
name?
yeah,
40-year-old
I've seen, dude, I've
virgin?
seen
Okay,
so
I've seen
many
that.
of these.
Groundhog Day?
Groundhog Day? Okay, I've seen
That's
that.
a romantic comedy, I guess. Okay, does he fall for the chicken?
Yeah, of course.
Forgetting
Knocked
Sarah
Up.
Marshall. Yeah. Something about
There's
Mary.
a little. These are a little loosely. Some of these are. I would verse more on comedy than I would consider romantic. Like I think of romantic comedy like Hitched with Will Smith or definitely Maybe.
See,
Ryan Seacrest was in a bunch like in the early 2000s. Ryan Seacrest was in like more than a few of these kind of rom-com kind of movies. But
See, I think Jay's right. Sleepless in Seattle. That's
what I think of when I think of
Yeah.
that term. Even though I haven't seen it, I just think of Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks and whoever.
Yeah, Meg
Ryan?
Ryan.
You got
Is that the
Male?
famous orgasm scene?
No, that's
No.
when Harry Met Sally.
Harry Met Sally. But you wouldn't be you should be embarrassed as a guy to be like, dude, let's go see Sleepless in Seattle. Like you wouldn't say that with 40-year-old virgin.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the difference. I think when I think romantic comedy,
Yeah, Judd Apatow does not make romantic comedies.
right? You shouldn't like
He makes
it should
comedies.
be. So what'd you do over the weekend? I got dragged to
Right.
Sleepless in Seattle. Sometimes you got to do it. You know what I mean?
You Got Mail.
Yes.
I've seen that movie so many times.
How about A Fault in the Stars or whatever
Yep,
it is?
seen that.
Jesus cried there.
Sobbed.
Well, the famous,
Wept.
the
He
famous,
wept.
Oh, I did.
the big one to me was always. I mean, this was years ago at this point, but like I remember for a birthday one time, we couldn't decide what to do for my birthday, so we went to a movie and we went and saw Definitely Maybe and that was total rom com with Ryan
Seacrest? Are you
not-
sure
no,
Ryan
not
Seacrest? 'Cause
Ryan,
I don't think
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, okay.
Was I saying Seacrest?
you were
I
saying
meant Reynolds.
Seacrest, and I'm like, I
I
don't
thought
remember
I said
Seacrest.
Reynolds, but
You 100% said Seacrest because
okay.
I was
Well,
thinking,
I meant Ryan Reynolds.
boy, this is weird. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds makes way more sense. Anyway, Notting Hill was huge. I never saw it. You never saw it.
Julia Roberts, Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant. What happened
I
to
could
those two, by
spot-
the way?
I could spot the movie box without the title on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, out of all the, because I watched a lot of romantic comedies or things that people will consider, and I will say Hugh Grant is the one that I don't watch.
4 Weddings and a Funeral.
I don't watch his. He for whatever reason in that genre
He
bugs the hell
kind
out
of
of
put
me.
the genre on the map.
I know he did.
Like,
I had a
in
couple-
those mid '90s, like he was big shit, right?
And then he got blown by that nasty black hook.
Oh,
I think
that's
the English
right.
thing
Remember
just
that?
bugged the fuck out of me. I think it was too. I think it bugged me too much. It was just like kind of this bumbling English dude who always just ended up with the cute kind of girl.
Pull up his bio, though, dude, because there were a few movies in a row where it was just like, that guy couldn't miss, even though he didn't like him.
No, you're right.
But he couldn't miss. Julia Roberts, too. I mean, and then he got blown by that hooker. I can still see her mugshot.
Yes.
And that was the biggest story in the world.
She wasn't a transvestite, was she? That was Eddie Murphy, right?
Eddie loved the dudes, yeah.
Yeah.
There was
chick,
she was just gross.
Yeah, just like a total streetwalker is what was weird about it. It's like, fuck, man,
Like
this
in
guy's
DC
worth,
or
like,
something.
$100 million, and he's just getting a total, like, $5 hooker.
And he's like the most beautiful guy in the world, and every girl loves him. He's in all these rom-coms, so people think they know him as that guy.
Yeah.
And here he is getting blown behind a dumpster in a street in D.C. by
Isn't
some
he married
nasty
to
hooker.
Liz Hurley at the time?
Maybe. Or did he marry her after that? Or
Not sure. It seems like I remember
you
some
remember Liz
consternation
Hurley?
about that. Elizabeth Hurley?
No, I know. I'm shocked that you would remember they were together.
Those are the 4 big ones. I can go down, obviously, to the years. But.
Yeah, about
Is
a boy.
now the
love
time
Actually.
to object to the size of Julia Roberts' mouth? Or can we
sure.
do that later? Okay.
No, you can do that.
Objection for the record.
Yeah.
Standing objection.
When we got to Ocean's 13, the plot line there with Julia Roberts.
Not sure I saw that one.
Well, they're the Ocean's 11 movies.
Yeah.
They have to steal the Fabergé egg or something, and they get busted as they're trying to break in. And so, last minute they decide that George Clooney's actual girlfriend Tess in the movie,
Julia
actually
Roberts.
played by Julia Roberts. Do you see it? She actually kind of looks like that actress, Julia Roberts.
Oh no.
What if we pretend she's Julia Roberts and get her in, and while people are distracted, we can steal the Fabergé egg? And it was like, so you got Julia Roberts
Wow.
to pretend to play
I forgot
Julia
that. I've seen
Roberts.
all
It was
those,
like,
but I don't remember that, actually.
it was just so fucking stupid. And then like Bruce Willis shows up and is like, Julia, and she's not really Julia Roberts. She's Tess, but she has to play along. Ugh,
Is that the biggest fucking mouth out there?
huge. Yeah.
Okay.
You'd have to be Coke can 10 inches to even date that, right? I mean, to be comfortable for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Notting Hill. Tourists have been absolutely bombarding this bookstore where they think the movie was based and filmed at.
Mm-hmm. What city is it?
I don't know. I think maybe London. Are they in Europe somewhere? I didn't even know what the plot line was. I guess Julia Roberts plays a famous actress in the thing, and he's the bumbling English guy that works at this bookstore.
Sure, with great hair.
Right, in town. And I just learned this reading this today. So she is this famous actress on set in this small town shooting a movie, and what do you know, they randomly bump into each other a couple times. Sparks are just flying.
Written in the stars.
It's in the stars. They
Cupid's
fall
arrow.
in love, and then off into the sunset before he's getting blown by hookers. But so that's the plot line of that. Anyway, so this bookstore, owners of the Book and Comic Exchange, have posted a notice because of the sheer amount of tourists that are desperate to see backdrops from the film.
I recognize that from the movie.
Yeah.
And so they're constantly making the mistaking the bookstore for the travel bookshop, which was featured in the movie but closed in 2011. So the fed up store puts this sign up that says, "This is not the shop from the rubbish film Notting Hill, so don't ask. We don't know where it is either."
The rubbish. It's rubbish.
Rubbish. It's rubbish. And so one of the guys said, "Oh my God, these fans get so irritating too. They're just like won't leave." Some of them actually think if they hang out and loiter long enough, they might actually meet Hugh Grant. Is it possible that humans can be that fucking stupid? That they think.
And then what? You see him, and then what? You get his autograph? I mean, what's
Yeah.
the end game?
I don't know. Although it is kind of funny, like this has happened in San Francisco a couple times where people go out to the painted ladies' houses where I think that's where they filmed or the opening shot of Full House.
Yeah.
All right.
And so people recognize that opening scene right away of the zooming in the city.
Yeah, that's a huge tourist attraction.
Exactly. But every once in a while, like John Stamos will go out there.
Oh, yeah?
And just be like hanging out in front of the house.
That's
And
kinda
people
cool.
walk out and be like, holy shit, it's John Stamos
Yeah,
out in
yeah.
front of the house. And so, yeah, I guess if you're thinking along those lines with Hugh Grant, but I
Yeah,
doubt
if he'd done it in the past at some point, okay, but
Yeah.
no, there's no indication that he will be there.
And they're like, look, we're a tiny little bookshop. You can barely fit 4 people in here. And these people got to fucking go. Get out of here. The other thing that I always think of when I think of Notting Hill is Steve Poltz, our buddy Steve Poltz, wrote a song. You know, do you have the original song there? Everything About You.
It's a great song.
Yeah. And the movie people thought it was a great song too. And it's just literally like 2 chords, you know, really soft romantic song about I love everything about you. Sappy love song, ballad. And they're like, this is absolutely perfect for Notting Hill. We need this on this is the song for our soundtrack.
Yeah.
We need this song on the soundtrack.
Steve's like, I'll give it to you, but
So they call Steve up. The record company calls Steve and they're like, yeah, this movie, Hugh Grant, Julia Roberts, they really want everything about you. Do you mind selling it, them the rights to use this in the soundtrack? It's going to be a big hit, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, I'd like to talk to him, though, and see what they have in mind. And because I've had some ideas myself.
Oh, he's pictured this a little bigger.
So the movie people are like, really want this song. And you hear the song, right? This is the song they want. And so Steve's like, I'm going to give you guys the song, but I've got some things that I really wasn't able to do that I really want to do for this song. And they're like, yeah, what are you thinking? He's like, I'm thinking I need to record it in Apple Studios in London where the Beatles did. And they're like, okay. I'm also going to need a full orchestra, like the London Orchestra. Like I have a big vision for a 60-piece full orchestra behind me. And they're like,
Moreover, a
bagpipes.
whole troop of bagpipers.
I need bagpipes. And also, there's this guitarist halfway around the world that I've been dying to work with, and I need him on this thing. And so he's like, all right, see you later. He walks out of the room, and they were like,
Wait, Mr. Poltz.
Mr. Poltz, I think we can do that. He's like, what? What? He's like, this song ended up costing a fucking $1 million, and if you don't believe him, here's how the song came out in the soundtrack of Notting Hill. Go ahead, E. Totally a joke. Never thought they would do it.
Adds a little something.
Yeah, it does. There's a little piperage for you.
More majestic.
Hold on. Let's see if we can't fit 60 musicians in here from the London Orchestra.
I love everything about you.
It's awesome.
Isn't that great? The guitar.
I love the way you comb your hair.
I think the orchestra comes in pretty big. And I could listen to bagpipes forever.
Your perfume lingers in the air. I love everything about you.
I heard a cello.
I'm hearing a cello as well. What are we listening for? Xylophones? What do we need? Some timpani, Jay? What timpani shows?
I love the way you lick your lips, dear.
Yeah, I always thought that story was so fucking funny, though. It's
awesome.
like, I never thought in a billion years they'd go for any of that, but they did, so they got the song.
Well, some of those rom-com soundtracks do huge, though, Pretty Woman, the...
Top Gun.
Oh, God. When a Man Loves a Woman, that was a huge one.
Yeah.
That was back in the day. They sort of went hand in hand if you think about it. Those
There was a
late
time
90s,
for
early
sure,
2000s
dude.
soundtracks. Fucking enormous.
Dude, there's one that I'm trying to think of that's just a fucking... Was it Titanic soundtrack?
That was pretty big, I'm sure.
Huge, I think. Yeah, if you could... You're right, dude. There was a run on those that was just...
Nobody puts Baby in the Corner.
Oh.
That movie.
Yeah, the dancing one.
Dirty
Dirty
Dancing.
Dancing. Star Wars, yeah.
I mean,
You know what's big
not
now is the... I'm Groot. You know those movies?
Yeah.
Those Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Those soundtracks are awesome, man. Whoever's doing the music for those movies, it's fantastic. 8 Mile, yeah, it's a great soundtrack.
I mean, these are just...
Prince and the Revolution.
Are we beyond the
Purple Rain.
soundtrack, though? I mean, I see Black Panther sitting there, but are people really buying soundtracks anymore?
People buying records anymore.
Right, I know. That's my thing. Like, a soundtrack is a soundtrack of a movie. It's a thing. It's a collection, right?
Yeah.
And nobody is buying collections anymore?
Yeah.
Certainly not at the rate they were. That was a huge thing. You'd get a cassette, man.
Yeah.
The soundtrack of Top Gun or whatever.
Singles. Remember
Yeah,
Singles
single.
soundtrack?
Oh, dude, that's a great one,
It's
man.
an awesome one, yeah. Some great stuff on there. My problem with them was they always had... There were so many different music styles Like nowadays, kids buy Prince, Madonna, Megadeth, and they listen to all of it or whatever their hot bands are now.
Yeah,
Probably
back then
none
you
of those.
didn't want Celine Dion
No.
being on your soundtrack.
No.
With Screaming Trees or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it was like maybe you got one or two cool tunes, and then you know, but then you I'm trying to think of the Top Gun ones.
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins. Highway through the danger zone. Gonna take a ride in. There was that one. Isn't Seeger on there? Does Seeger do a song on that?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But you're thinking of that slow one that was enormous. That take my breath away. Do 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 do.
What was the one when they're? You never close your eyes and you know when I kiss your lips. Boom, 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 boom. Was that in that movie?
Sure. You lost that love and feeling.
Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding. You lost that love and feeling, now it's gone, gone, gone. The Power of Love. That was a big hit, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now by Starship. The Final Countdown by Europe. What?
Broken Wings.
Oh, those
Take
these
broken wings. These are deluxe edition bonus tracks.
I didn't know the Final Countdown made the deluxe bonus tracks.
Why?
I don't know.
I can't fight this feeling anymore. REO.
Yeah. Heaven in Your Eye.
Great Balls of Fire. I remember that.
Playing with the Boys. Mighty Wings by Cheap Shot. Yeah.
Playing with the Boys. You know what that is?
Which is that the volleyball?
That's the volleyball
Get
scene,
out of here.
man.
Can we pull up the volleyball scene, please?
I think we
Please?
have to. I think it's an annual event on the Detroit Cast.
He's wearing
Jesus.
jeans. I
Bing
can't,
it.
Can't get over the jeans.
Oh, that'd be so uncomfortable. All that sand in the waistband of your jeans.
Oh,
God.
terrible.
And these guys just aren't that fit.
They're not. I know.
You know,
it's the best
You
part
had-
of it.
You had this image in your head like these fucking muscle bound dudes.
Yeah.
No.
They're 1984 ripped.
Right.
And 1984 ripped.
Slider, you stink.
Stink.
You stink.
Ooh, whoa! Burn! Burn! Slider
We'll
sniffs
settle this on the
himself.
court, man.
A lot will be settled on this court, Mike. A lot. Cruz is flexing. He's
Yeah.
visibly flexing in every scene.
And if you've ever played volleyball, you know just how unathletic these fucking players are.
Oh, and you know that Cruz can't even get near to the top of the net.
Oh,
Are you kidding
shit.
me?
Are you kidding?
That net
Never.
has to be 5'8" right now.
Yeah, that.
Uh-oh, he's looking at his watch. I gotta be somewhere. I gotta go bang a chick.
I gotta get on my hog and get moving.
In the meantime, I'm gonna make the gayest scene ever in Hollywood history. Look at Slider.
Whoa! Check out
Flex
my
it up,
ass.
Slider.
Look at how tan Cruz is.
And Goose must not have had shit for abs. Right? Oh, look at Slider.
Oh, yeah.
Flex. Iceman.
Iceman keeps spinning the
They are
ball in his finger.
literally flexing in every scene.
Good serve, good serve. In the background.
Can they show these guys diving any more horribly than they are? They're. Oh, that hand slap. I bet there were guys at volleyball parks all over the country that
Doing
were
that. Upper, lower.
meet back, bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Yeah. That was pre-chest bump shit, you know?
What does Goose have going on under that shirt that is so bad, right?
Yeah,
That they leave him in the cutoff sleeve.
yeah. They're like, all right, Kilmer, we're gonna have to get some sweet shots of your abs, but Goose, which one is he again? What's his name?
It's Goose.
Okay, Goose. They're like, Goose. Yeah, we got to keep a shirt on Goose.
So if you're a gay dude, what is your favorite part of that scene? Is it Slider? Is it him flexing those couple times? Is it Val Kilmer? What are we talking about?
Back then, it might be Cruz, dude. When they do that, it's just so gay looking when they do that slow pan up and he's just tan as fuck. And you know what I mean? And right before he looks at his watch,
Yeah.
like
That might be it. That might be it. It's the money shot.
I just picture in post when they're when they're going over the dailies, like the four of those guys are like, we need to jump in the edit room and see what we got here.
Yeah.
And it's like they're looking at it and they're like, guys, we have successfully filmed the gayest volleyball scene in the history of
Cut print.
Yeah, let's do this. This is awesome. No more needs to be done. That is Hollywood's gayest scene ever. Couldn't be more proud of you guys. Couldn't be more proud of you guys.
Divine Brown, by the way, was the whore, the street-walking whore that Hugh Grant was caught with.
Divine Brown.
Divine Brown. And you'll
Do you
recall this absolutely.
The
I remember
mugshot?
the red shirt, the red half shirt with the
yeah.
belly underneath. And yeah, it was.
You know, she's not as bad.
She's not a bad-looking chick, honestly.
Like,
don't say as bad. She's not a bad-looking chick.
Yeah. For some reason, at the time, I remember she kind of looks like Oprah in a weird way, like skinny Oprah from a weird angle.
She's more attractive than him. Look at those pictures.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, for him, like that mugshot, it's hitting him in that moment. Like,
fuck.
Like the shrugged shoulders.
Fuck me.
Fuck. Was it worth it having those lips on my cock? He knows right here, like, oh shit, LA Times front page tomorrow. Variety,
Yeah.
Hollywood Reporter. It's going to be BBC front page.
He looks really uncomfortable, doesn't he?
And everything that's every single publication that's rattling in his head is dropping him just a.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you about the unibrow. Is that something that he always sported in all his movies and such, his public appearances, or is he untweezed, vastly untweezed in this mugshot?
Oof.
Right?
Yeah, that's troubling.
I wonder.
And she's done some work here too.
Yeah.
Like her eyebrows should not end where they do.
She keeps them up.
Why wouldn't she have said something to him? You know what I mean? Obviously, it's enough of a concern for her to take care of it.
Yeah.
And she's walking the fucking streets.
She hadn't looked at his face yet.
What do you think? $40 behind a dumpster.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kidding me? Jesus.
Yeah.
What's going on with that belly though? She's got her titties up there.
I know.
I mean,
It's a huge concern. but-
Yeah.
well, this isn't the time for.
I mean, because I don't think she's sitting down. I don't think they give you a stool for your mugshot, which means.
Oh, wait, really? No, I think they're both sitting.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they're both sitting.
I think you stand so they don't know how
Yeah,
tall
but they don't
you
have
are
the
usually.
tallness in back of them.
They don't have the bars.
I
They
don't
don't
know
have the tallness.
I don't know when this is, but here's another.
That's her?
Yeah, that's what they say.
It's a later
No
shot of one
way.
Divine
Hugh Grant
Brown.
hits 50. We track down Divine.
Divine Brown.
Brown, yeah.
Can you find a period piece?
Gross, dude. I don't wanna see that.
One that's more
Fuck.
indicative of her at the time. I don't want to see 20 years later. or
Can you
whatever.
see Divine Brown in
No,
that?
I really don't.
I don't either.
I don't know if this is that great, but
I don't know that I see it in there. She should be forced to wear
Yeah,
that
her
bright red
hair's so
lipstick at all
different.
times.
I mean,
Boy, oh
he
boy, I
could have
don't
done
know.
a hell of a lot worse when you're talking about streetwalkers.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah, I think it was just he was quickly turning into America's heartthrob, perfect guy, and that dude got a street walking hooker.
It would be the equivalent of like Brad Pitt getting caught with a streetwalker. That's what
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah,
He was top of the world.
absolutely, as big as they come.
Jesus, would you?
now there, I mean, you're getting kind
Titties aren't terrible, dude.
No,
You get in there. $30.
I don't.
$30, pick a hole.
Sure, whatever.
All right.
Hey, Merck. He wants you to. He wants to remind you to get your balls checked basically every year. Is what this is going after. This is how I read this. You have an annual physical to make sure you're healthy. What do you do each year to make sure you remain financially fit? Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial specializes in thoughtful and objective investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. Oh, maybe this has to do with finances, not balls specifically.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
go see Merck
Yeah.
about your financial situation.
That makes way more sense now that you mention it.
Yeah, he's a
Yep.
financial advisor. Call him today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
Why don't we take a quick timeout, Jay? And boy, oh boy, got a couple things. More chicks are starting to come out on Eric Schneiderman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kind of a quick story, but
New York
it's
Attorney
like,
General.
ooh boy, here it goes. Oh boy, the gates are going to open. I wouldn't be surprised if a dozen women come out and go, yeah, he treated me like shit too. And then one person we haven't heard from as far as the Me Too movement goes is Roman Polanski, and I'm glad he's finally opened up about that. He's a guy we needed to hear from.
Yes.
And I think the world is ready to welcome him back into the fold with his
Or not.
Me
I don't
Too
know.
comments.
We'll see.
We'll get to those and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
Ready. Welcome back to the Detroit Cast with Mike and Jay and
Some other guy.
yeah, that
some
other
other
guy's
kid.
here. Retarded one. Every single time, it's almost like a repeat. We find ourselves stumbling into the volleyball scene in Top Gun. It ends up being a 20-minute discussion off the air. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
we need to start recording those because we end up having we circle back and then it's like, boy, he was in a lot of big movies.
Tom Cruise, yes,
Yeah.
he has been.
And
He's defined a generation, I'd say.
I love doing this because Isis is he's not young by any stretch. I mean, he's almost a senior citizen at this point, for Christ's sake. But he's younger than us to where there's that gap in what music we would listen to, movies. And so we're always trying to explain, or at least I find myself like,
I do too. Yeah.
Isis, you don't understand how fucking huge of an actor this dude was.
Yes.
And he picks up his career at like Mission Impossible 2. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, no. You
Yeah,
can't
we're
start
picking him
there.
up at Taps and Outsiders.
Yeah.
And Isis is coming in 15 years later.
And I'm telling you, the very, I said it 1,000 times, the very underrated Losing It. Losing It is a movie.
Oh, I remember that.
Do you?
One of those kind of like gratuitous titty movies back in like 81, 82.
Yes. Him and his friends are trying to get
go down
laid
to
or something
Tijuana.
in Tijuana. Dr. John Valby is in it playing
That
the
may be
piano.
his first movie, man.
It
It's right
looks
there, right?
I always thought it was his very first movie, but it looks like he maybe did it after Outsiders, which I just don't know if I believe that.
Quite possible. I mean, it could be quite
83.
possible that IMDb is correct and the dates listed there under. But the
Yeah.
Outsiders, he was in Taps before that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember he had that psycho role in Taps.
Yeah.
The Outsiders, dude. What a cast, though, huh? That was
trying to remember.
That was Swayze.
Yep.
You had Ralph Macchio. You had C. Thomas Howell, Matt Dillon.
Which
C.
one's-
Thomas was Ponyboy. He was the main character, man. Don't look at me like you don't.
No,
remember C.
I
Thomas
know,
Howell.
but I hear Howell and I think Mrs. Howell. Love it.
Diane Lane was in there as the love interest.
Love interest.
The crossover love interest, and between the Greasers and the Socias.
Sure. Do you know who the love interest?
Leif Garrett. Was
No.
in it. Oh yes.
Get out of here. Leif Garrett.
He was one of the stuck-up guys. Emilio was in it. Swayze, I think I mentioned. Cruise.
How
obviously.
the fuck did Leif
Rob Lowe.
Garrett? Wait, Outsiders is 83. How does Leif Garrett sneak into that movie? I think we're going to talk to them.
Small
by the way.
role. Yeah, Diamond and Silk.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, E came upstairs yesterday and was like, yeah, they got back to me. They're interested in doing an interview when they come to town. I was like, like, do we really want to talk to Diamond and Silk? Is that... And I was like, we just want to hear the one go, because it's not about, I don't want to talk to them about like, like
Trump
hardcore
policy.
Trump. Yeah, like, Trump kicks ass. I don't want to do that interview with them.
You don't
But
have to do that. You can just talk to them how they became whatever they
how
are.
you doing?
There's deeper questions than that. Come on.
All right. So every time we do this, like whenever, because we oftentimes pull up people's IMDb's and it's like, 4 movies out of 60,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh yeah, he had a small role in this and that. Maybe I remember that. No one else does. But when you look at Tom Cruise's IMDb, it is a masterpiece.
Fair to say he ruled the world between 1983 and scroll up for me.
This is just can't miss, dude. Like people, you don't know. When you read a script, the script can be brilliant and a director fucking drops the ball and
83
screws it up.
to 99, I'd
He
say.
can't miss.
Yeah.
Go down the list, dude. Taps, Outsiders, Losing It. Okay, then let's go on to Risky Business.
That's what put him on the map.
Is that the one where he's just
Yep.
take those old
That's what put him on the map, for
in
sure.
Whitey how do you get put on the map with Whitey
Then
Tighties?
All the Right Moves, I vaguely remember that. He was a football player.
Huge. All the Right Moves was huge. Legend. Was Legend big?
I don't know.
Didn't matter because what was on deck?
Top Gun.
Oh,
He's
shit.
busy working on Top Gun.
Oh, shit.
And The Color of Money. Cocktail.
What? Keep
Rain
going.
Man.
Keep going.
Don't forget about Rain Man.
Keep going. There's got to be a flop in here. It's coming.
Born on the 4th of July.
Oh, Born on the 4th of July.
Days
Well, the
of
flop is
Thunder.
next. Days of Thunder.
Far and Away. A Few Good Men.
Oh, no. Well, that's tanked. Few Good Men. Who likes that?
You can't handle the truth.
I ate breakfast 300 yards from 5,000 Cubans trying to kill me. So if you think for 1 second you come down here faggoty white outfit.
Oh, was Mike Lindell in that movie?
Make me nervous.
Jesse the Body, was he in that movie? The Firm. He goes on to do The
The Firm.
Interview with a Vampire.
Well, the hits just stop there, right? This is where that we fall off. Is this where we drop off?
Mission Impossible.
Oh, wait. After that one, though, it's definitely dead. The career has to
Show
end.
me the money. Jerry Maguire.
Oh, Jerry Maguire. But it's done there. We have to stop now. Stop. I
Wide
can't
Shut.
take any more.
Eyes Wide Shut. See, that's where I think it ended. I think it ended with
Nope.
Eyes Wide Shut.
No.
Yeah, wasn't it a flop in the end?
Yeah, it was a Kubrick, kind of a weird take. You know, it was real sexual.
I mean,
so
everyone knows it, but it was
grabbed people's prurient interest because it was like the sex cult thing going.
Yeah,
behind, you know?
yeah. It was the Illuminati upstairs,
Correct.
going in and
But I
banging
think
each
that's
other.
where it
but that's
ended.
Nicole Kidman and him, right?
Right. Yep.
In that. No, it's not, dude. Because the next one's just a video short. Magnolia was big. Mission Impossible 2. Vanilla Sky was big. Minority Report.
These are not, but don't you agree? Like it's sort of they're big, but of a different ilk at this point.
Okay.
The Last Samurai.
He was kind of big but stupid, right?
Collateral.
Didn't he play like a samurai?
Yeah. War of the Worlds.
Oh, by the way,
War of the Worlds was big.
I wouldn't say that it was a flop. Maybe I was thinking of Vanilla Sky. It was more because Eyes Wide Shut made 162 million, which I know isn't
Huge,
insane, but it's not nothing.
Right.
Dude, Tropic Thunder, his role in Tropic Thunder is hilarious. You
Valkyrie.
don't even recognize him. Pull him up. Pull up a scene from Tropic Thunder. Yeah, Tropic Thunder. Tom Cruise. You won't even recognize him. He plays Les Grossman, like the agent in it. Do you remember that movie?
Not really.
I never saw it. I remember it, but I never saw
Dude,
it.
it's the one where what's his name plays a little Jack or something, an actor, Ben Stiller, and they're ragging on him because he thought he was going to win an Academy Award, but he went full retard in his role, and they're talking about how Rain Man, you know, like you can go part retard, man, and get the Oscar, you know, Rain Man. Dude, what would you think? You went full retard on that, and they're ragging on him for it. Yeah, is that left?
Tits off. Want to talk about trouble? That's trouble.
Whoa. What do you need, Peck?
And more like, what do you need, Les? Glasses?
What?
So you can read the Tropic Thunder contract that guarantees my client, Tug Speedman, some form of digital video recorder on location? Huh?
Yeah, he plays this dick with these giant arms.
I'm incredibly busy, so why don't you get the hell out of here before I snap your dick off and jam it into your ass? No, not you.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a good movie, but it's
I'm gonna stand by, dude. I think Eyes Wide Shut was the end of it, man.
Yeah.
I think Jerry Maguire was the apex, and then Eyes Wide Shut, he started to come down.
Yeah,
and I agree. Mission Impossible, you know, it earned a lot. Mission Impossible 3, etc.
yeah.
But-
I take those off the top. Yeah, I take those.
Yeah,
those
2
away.
and 3.
Yeah, Rock of Ages is Stacey Jacks. Oof, thought that was going to be huge. No, and then he's got the Reacher ones that I guess people like, but
And then Top Gun Maverick in pre-production.
what?
You knew
What?
about that. We've talked about that on
Dude,
the
we've
show.
talked at length about
I think we
that.
saw. I felt like we saw a trailer, possibly.
Really? I swear to God, I'm hearing this for the first
No,
time.
you're
There's
not.
another Top Gun
You're
coming.
not.
I swear. Was it one of the days I was out? and you guys
and I
talked
would've said,
all
"Do you
about.
remember the film class I had at MSU, and it was taught by the
remember
guy
that.
who wrote Top Gun,
Yep.
and he actually had number 2 in the bag.
No,
at the time."
no. We were talking about the gay volleyball scene when you talked about that last.
Listen, man.
Look, it doesn't
Listen,
really matter, but
listen.
I'm telling you 100% you know, and we've talked about it on this show
I'm with
before.
you.
Listen, man, I'm talking to somebody else. I was
lead-
not listening that day, or I wasn't here. I was checked out early.
Unfortunately, the lead host of the Detroit Cast has zero memory. So
And
if
I-
we repeat some things, well,
That happens. It's happened before. It'll happen again, and I'm proud of that. I'm almost proud I didn't retain that. I don't have room for that thing. Yeah. A Maverick movie?
yes.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Eric Schneiderman, apparently real dick face. I love the hypocrisy when it comes full circle and bites these guys. Some journalist. He's the was the Attorney General of New York, and was really big for women and Me Too movement. Now a chick has come out, a journalist says, yeah, I went on a date with him, and he apparently alcohol was big with this dude. She's like, yeah, it started out pleasant, you know, he picked me up with flowers, you know, one of these dudes going to show up with a bouquet of flowers for her. And then he was good looking. There was a lot of drinking when they
Is he
ate it.
good looking? I mean, come on.
That's
not get into that.
her quote,
Okay.
not mine. But yeah, they ate at Bette Midler's restaurant, New Leaf. And so they had a bottle of champagne, a bottle of wine, and a bottle of whiskey. Sounds like a fun night, right?
Shit.
When she questioned his offer to drive to a party.
Yeah, dude, that's not nothing.
So, I know. She said there was a lot of drinking.
Like, wine is one thing, but a bottle of whiskey? Like,
yeah. Whiskey. When she questioned his offer, so at this point he's like, yeah, I'll drive to the party. She's like, remember those 3 bottles we just had? So she's questioning his ability to drive. He's like, this is my city. I can do what I want. One of these dudes. Yeah. And so on the drive, she receives a text from the guy that had invited her to the party. So he gets jealous at this. Nice first date. You're going to get jealous because a fucking guy she knows texts like, hey, you guys coming to the party?
Who's that guy? What's up with that dude?
By the way, to me, like,
what's up with that asshole? Why are you talking to him still?
Anybody that's gonna yield like the comment of like, this is my city, I can do what I want. I'm not saying that it's ever okay, but I think you need to at least be like a rock star or like a baseball player in that town. Like, if you're not like a cool public figure, if you're just a city official and you're kind of like,
but the attorney general, I mean, isn't that just the top lawyer in town?
I don't care, dude. That's so, no one wants to be that as a kid. People,
the top lawyer in the state.
Yeah,
but still,
that's a pretty big position. I'd rather be that guy trying to get out of a ticket than fucking A-Rod.
Not my point, though.
Just under the governor.
I'm just saying douchiness to me. It's like, oh, I'm the top lawyer. If you're not A-Rod or fucking,
you're looking at power wrong.
I disagree.
Like, cops can throw. Like, it'd be hard. Don't you think, Jay? Wouldn't you rather be the most powerful attorney in the state of New York trying to get out of a DUI
than more powerful? I'm talking about what's more
Eli
cool.
Manning.
It sounds
like more cool. What are you talking about?
Sounds like a nerd.
Just because you like athletes doesn't make them cooler.
Nobody looks up to the fucking attorney general. People look up to fucking athletes and rock stars.
I think you're wrong, dude.
You find me someone who looks up to attorney generals other than some lawyer nerd.
His staff. Attorney general's staff.
I think as far as
subordinates,
as far as actual power goes, power in a city. You have tremendous amounts of power. As
I can't believe you're not on my side.
Guess what A-Rod has to do in order to get out of a DUI? He has to call Schneiderman.
Exactly.
I'm not talking.
Those athletes all have Schneiderman on speed dial to get out of shit.
I can't believe you're not on my side that it's more douchey for a him to do it than a celebrity.
More
or an
importantly,
athlete.
this dude was known because Donald Trump tweeted this in 2013. Did you see his tweet? He
Yeah.
said, Wiener's gone, Spitzer is gone. Next will be lightweight AG Eric Schneiderman. Is he a crook? Wait and see. Worse than Spitzer and Wiener.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I wonder what took all. Why then?
September 11th, 2013. He probably saw him just fucking wasted off his ass with some big-titted chick on his arm
being
at
a
a party.
douche.
You know?
Yeah. So, anyways, so they're driving back, and he's now he's jealous because of this guy. And they get to a red light, and he's just like locks him up, and then just like just starts mashing with her face, trying to make out with her. And she's like, and then so they go, go 20 feet ahead, stop at another red light, does it again, and she's like pushing him away. She's like, and if a girl has to say like, I was fine with a little bit of tongue, but what he was doing, like how aggressive, like the aggressive makeout guy.
Weird, man.
What are you doing,
I know.
dude? Like, ugh. And so he does it in another light, and she's like, all right, now she's objecting to this thing, and so she says, when she objected, saying she wouldn't have minded a little bit of tongue, but she did not approve of the aggression, he replied,
You like a little bit of dick, too?
good one, Schneiderman.
You like a little bit of dick, too?
I would have
not awful for a creep. Not awful.
I would have been fine with a little bit of tongue.
Oh, yeah? Do you like a little dick, too?
Tell me it's not the first thing you thought of, right?
Dude, it makes me think of like a joke I would have said in 8th grade, where you're like,
yeah. Well,
do you have a little German in you? No, I don't.
Would you like some?
Yeah. Now, this is the same guy who's like making out furiously with a chick. He's got his tongue down her throat. Like, come on, man. Like, what are you doing?
But if she's objecting, like, I'd be like, whoa, I went too far. Pull it back. How do I get back in the good graces? So play this out. I wouldn't have objected to a little bit of tongue, man, but come on.
You want a little bit of dick, too?
Like, that's not the next line. That's never the next line.
I don't know that it's not.
It's a terrible one. You can't. No. You're trying to recover from, I would have been okay with a little bit of tongue, and you decide to go.
In the
he probably
context
isn't
of
trying to recover. He probably just is like, I'll just throw this out there and then see what happens.
Because where I was going anyway was my dick in her
Because if he's
mouth,
not going to get the dick,
I didn't want to make out with you anyway. I wanted my dick in your mouth, not my
boy,
tongue.
oh boy, I would expect this from E. This surprised me from you, Jake.
Dude, I'm thinking in terms of a Schneiderman, like in context of a creeper. It's
Yeah.
not bad. It's not that bad.
See, I think of
It's kind of a nice Sigui.
I think of guys like you and me
How
as
do I
like,
take it from tongue to dick?
how do I save the moment and eventually get dick in her mouth? Like, that's the end game. How do I save this?
Dude, this guy's a bull in the china shop. He has no charm.
Yeah.
He has no comedic sense. He's just going. He wants his dick in her mouth. He wants his penis stroked to completion. Bottom
I
line.
understand that.
It's not that bad a line for him.
I wouldn't have objected to a little bit of tongue. Yeah, you like a little bit of dick too.
Perfect. Perfecto, Mr. Schneiderman.
Dude, I'm gonna work
Well
on it. I'm
played,
gonna
sir.
try to jam my tongue in a strange woman on a date next. I'm gonna try that and see if I can get her to object.
It begs the question.
And if she says, "Look, dude, I would have been cool with a little bit of tongue," if I can get her to spit that line out somehow, I'll try to work it. I'll try to throw out, "Yeah, you like a little bit of dick too."
Bam.
And see how that goes.
Now the power of persuasion.
Yeah.
You're onto the dick.
All right.
You're out of the tongue. We're out of the friend zone, Mike.
If I ever get put in a position where a woman says I wouldn't have objected to a little bit of tongue, I promise you with 100% certainty I will spit out, you like a little dick too?
You're stealing third.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. He's stealing third.
I'm stealing third, but the pitcher and catcher are both staring me down.
He's stealing third. Doesn't matter. He's
going-
dead set on getting to third.
They're looking at me, both pitcher and catcher, going, "Is this motherfucker trying to steal third while we're looking at him?"
They're counting on an overthrow.
They're just gonna roll the ball to the bag.
You're counting on an overthrow, sir.
Oh, the odds are not in your favor. Anyways, you're right. He is a bull in a china shop because this ends with her getting so mad, demanding to be let out of the car and walk herself to the party. And he's like, "Whatever, dude."
Yeah.
Go get another bitch.
Yeah. Good luck getting some of that little dick tonight. I'm out of here.
Gone.
Gentlemen. Jesus, are you ready? Gonna find our best friend Doug, and then we're gonna give him a Harvard hug. Doug, Jesus, Doug. Now it's time to contact Realtor Doug Steinert. Realtor Doug Steinert. Spring is the perfect time to list your home and to go looking for your dream home. Winter's over. Real estate is moving. Contact Douglas today, 248-765-1781. He and the team at Century 21 Campbell will work to get you the absolute best deal on the sale and or purchase of your home. Doug's the man. He's easy to work with, and he's a great friend of the show. Everybody loves him. Everybody who calls Doug loves him. Call Douglas today, 248-765-1781.
Roman Polanski is suing the Academy of Motion Picture Arts. I wonder if the Cos will too. As they
Let me tell you what happened here.
Yeah.
The Academy wanted to boot Cosby because of his conviction, and they thought, we are going to take tremendous racial backlash.
Black guy?
Yeah, remember Oscar's So White? We do not want to rewind to that. We gave
that
Jordan
is a-
Peele an Oscar. We can't go back 2 years. We got to keep moving forward with the black thing. And so they
Great
thought,
point.
if we do this to Cosby, we've got to do it to Polanski.
Great point. Why are they doing this anyways? Is this just about getting press? Because they don't. I mean,
I know.
they're setting precedent now where every time some guy is accused of being a creep, or are they just doing convictions? They're just going, Polanski admitted to shit and ran. Cosby's been found guilty.
Is Cosby really? Does he have a motion picture legacy?
Well, maybe maybe he's more arts and sciences.
Right.
The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences.
Yeah, and he was the type to be on all sorts of boards and have graduate degrees.
Dude, he's the
bestowed
master.
Upon, yeah, he has so many.
Had.
Yeah, exactly. I heard Yale took theirs back.
Everybody has.
Yeah, they're just pulling them back.
You
like
have to
crazy.
at this point. I mean, you don't want to be the one guy that's
Right.
left your honorary degree floating out there in Cosby's house.
So maybe that's the Academy's move right here. Maybe he was listed as some
Yeah.
fellow or something.
they don't come knock on your door and demand rip it off your wall, do they?
I don't know.
I mean, how does that work? Because Cosby is so proud. Dr. Cosby. No, sir, you're not. No. That is an honorary degree. You went up on stage, waved, said, how's everybody doing? Pudding pops. Bah. And they gave you a piece of paper.
My wife, Camille.
Ennis, the boy. The boy. Ennis. Ugh. So, yeah, Roman's not having none of this. He's pissed. He's suing them now. And his lawyer, Harlan Braun, That's a good lawyer name,
Why?
isn't it?
Because it's like it's wrongly put him in the same ilk of a convicted molester. Is that what he's like claiming?
No.
I mean, they're
He's never Polanski's never been convicted, right? He skipped
No, he
town.
has.
Has he?
Yeah, he pled to a lesser. They charged him with 5 felonies.
Yeah.
Like rape, sodomy, underage, everything. And
I know he booked to France.
he pled down to one thing. It was not. He didn't think he was going to get jail time, but I think they wanted jail time. He was like, "Well, see you later."
Gotcha.
Wasn't going to serve time, and that's when he blew out of here. But yeah, he did end up pleading guilty to something in court. But no, isn't that a great lawyer name though? If I'm going to hire a lawyer, Harlan Braun.
It's not bad.
I mean, seriously,
It's not bad.
Attorney Braun, Harlan Braun. I mean, I'd hire that guy.
Yeah.
Esquire. Wow.
ESQ.
It's good shit. He's claiming it failed to follow its own rules or California law.
Due process. He's claiming due process. Like, just go, crawl under your fucking rock, Roman.
You know what they did, right?
And everybody knows what he did.
Yes.
So stop.
Yeah.
Like, dude, unforgivable.
What does it matter?
I
What
know
does it
that-
fucking
yeah.
matter? What is it? A plaque on the wall you need? What? Did they send you a check every year that you're not going to get now? I mean, dude, who gives a shit? You're kicked out of the.
They can't have applause
You're
breaks, I
expelled.
guess, at the mere mention of his name at
Yeah.
Academy Awards from here to forward. I guess that's his problem.
Well,
he's a pariah now, whereas before he was, strangely enough, still celebrated.
But
in
I
those
still think he
circles.
is in Hollywood circles. They
Still
maybe-
celebrated?
Yeah, I don't think they'll admit it as freely now because they've been
Ah, he
mocked.
fucked a 14-year-old up the ass, like
Yeah.
really hard. So what?
13, but
whatever.
Yeah, she's wearing a blue bikini. It was fucking, dude. No, yeah, it was, and I don't like these people that try to come off really smart when they make a quote. And maybe this doesn't qualify, but it kind of did to me. Maybe it won't to you. I'll read it to you. But he's asked about the Me Too movement, and if you're Roman Polanski,
Does he have his pinky in the air? Is he taking a sip with a pinky in the air?
perhaps.
Okay. Let's hear it.
And so, if you're Roman Polanski, you got to think, okay, this is a setup. If I'm being asked about Me Too, you know I fucked a 13-year-old in the ass, right? After drugging her, right? So, asking me about that, this is a dangerous spot for me to be in.
It's a
I'm
tough
gonna
one to
pass.
navigate.
Yeah.
Tough one to navigate.
Can you pass? Can you plead fifth in an interview when asked about #MeToo?
No comment. I think that's what a pass is in the
He
circles.
chose to dismiss the Me Too movement as mass hysteria and hypocrisy.
He doubled down.
He did. I think this is kind of mass hysteria that occurs in society from time to time. And here's where he picks up where it's like, okay, smart guy, yeah, okay. Sometimes it's very dramatic, like the French Revolution or St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre in France. Or sometimes it's less bloody, like 1968 in Poland, or McCarthyism in the United States. Everyone's trying to back this movement, mainly out of fear. I think it's total hypocrisy. Samantha Geimer is the girl that was... She's forgiven him, too. And she actually was quoted about this and said, expelling him from the academy like this is an ugly and cruel action which serves only appearance. It's like, I know it was a long time ago, and you've forgiven him and you've moved on, but...
Sometimes appearance, action for appearance sake is okay, though, right?
Yeah. But I love every time Roman Polanski comes up, because I've done this a couple times to you guys. I like to just really quickly review the incident in question, just so...
We just did this like 2 months ago.
Yeah, I know, which is why I was shocked that it came full circle again. So just in case anyone's forgotten, he was at Jack Nicholson's house. Is it Nicholas or Nicholson?
Sure.
You need me on that wall. That's Nicholson, right?
No, that's Mike Lindell.
You should be rolling around in a convertible, bird dogging chicks and banging beaver.
It's a little closer. But still, too much Lindell, man.
I'm trying to think of a younger Jack.
I wonder if your sickness ruined your Jack.
Did I used to have a Jack?
I don't know.
Come down here in your faggoty white.
That's better. You're getting closer.
Think you can come down here in your faggoty white.
Still too much Lindell coming through. Something's happening in your throat. A chortle. A half chortle.
For Christ's sakes, Billy, you should be rolling around in a convertible, bird dog.
There you
chicks
go.
and
It's a little more
banging
like that,
beaver,
right? Yeah.
And banging beaver.
Beaver.
For Christ's sakes, Billy, you should be rolling around in a convertible, bird dogging chicks and banging beaver.
It's better.
I eat breakfast 3,000
No!
miles. I eat breakfast 3,000
You
miles.
might as well say Giza. The Giza cotton.
Wait, is that it? I eat breakfast 3,000 miles from, or wait, 3,000.
I eat breakfast 300 yards from 5,000 Cubans
trained to kill me. Is that where he goes, so if you think you can come down here
in your
faggoty white outfit.
In your faggoty white
white outfit. Make
uniform.
me nervous. Make me nervous. You're goddamn right I did. Is that it?
Sure.
Did you order the code? You're goddamn right I did. I think I got it.
Colonel Nathan R. Jessup.
Oh, I love him. He's a peach of a man. I love Jessup.
As done by Mike Walters.
And honestly, I sided with Jessup in that trial. I think fucking what's his name did need to be murdered.
Yeah.
Gringo, Rodrigo, whatever his name was. He was soft, dude.
Can't have that.
No. Not in my fucking core.
Not in the core.
So Polanski gets permission from this 13-year-old's mom. He's like, yeah, I want to do a modeling shirt with your daughter. She's like, oh, yeah, here, take her. She's 13. So he does a topless shot. She's like, yeah, that kind of freaked me out. I'm 13, topless.
He needs to be better trained.
And but she does agree to do a second shoot.
You know, there are people who don't want to do other things. You know, if you want ice cream, you don't go to a barbecue shop.
This is more for me than the audience because I love Jay's cringy face every time he has to relive these details. He really doesn't like this. Angelica Houston was there. Boy,
that's really astounding.
She's kind of gross, isn't she? She was banging Nicholson at the time, but she was in town. He wasn't. He was on a ski trip in Colorado, but she left and was gone. And that's when he gave her a Quaalude. He was taking pictures of her drinking champagne and Quaalude, and then ate her out, fucked her, and fucked her ass each time she was saying no.
It's very important to have a social outlet.
Please don't fuck my butt. I've only pooped out of it. I'm 13. Please, no.
No. We don't want to shame anybody. We don't want to put anybody on the spot. If it looks funny, we go over and say, mm-mm.
I think Angelica Houston at one point saw the closed door and went over and went, mm-mm. And he was like, bitch, beat it. We're wrapping up a shooting here.
I like to leave people wanting more.
Like, okay. And so, yeah, that's the end of that. So now everyone remembers. Just in case you missed it. People didn't know. I don't think people were fully aware of the anal part. People like to just dismiss.
Dude, that's all I remember about this story.
I know you do.
He ass banged the 13 or 14-year-old. That's all I remember.
What a dick face.
Amazon.
Hey, everybody.
Amazon.
Please use our Amazon link. You'll find it above the fold, DetroitCast.com. Click on that, shop away. Of course, you don't pay anymore, and Amazon's an amazing site.
There has never been a company quite like Amazon.
There's very little Amazon doesn't have.
In fact, they have just about everything.
There is very little Amazon doesn't have.
That's confirmed by Charlie Rose.
You know what I bet they don't have? And we don't have time to do this story right now, but what's his name? Khalid Shaikh Mohammed is in the news today. He wants to drop, I guess I'll briefly do the story. He's like asked the jail at Guantanamo, the judge there, like, by the way, this Gina bitch that they want to be running the CIA now.
Right.
I've got a 6-paragraph sum up of her that I think the panel in America should read.
She was personally part of the interrogations, right?
Yeah, they don't go into details, but it's like, yeah, go fuck yourself, dude. You how about this? You don't get waterboarded 183 times if you don't plan to fly planes into buildings in New York City. Like it's a very, very easy way to avoid waterboarding.
Moreover, isn't it true that it really was just 183 or 186 doses of waterboarding? It's not like separate times that he was brought in
15
separately.
times.
Okay, see that, Yeah. You
not
look at
that
it
big a
that
deal.
way. 15 times you were felt to feel like you were drowning. Okay, whatever.
Torture.
Yeah.
Not
Quote,
pulling
unquote.
nails off you. You cunts! And the fact is, there were only 3 of them total. 3.
Got to protect the nation.
Yeah. But going back to the Amazon thing, I've often wondered, because the famous picture of him, where do you find a T-shirt with neck holes that big?
I'll tell you what, man. I've often thought about that because that's where the eye goes, right? The neck hole, enormous neck hole that's apparently available in Middle Eastern markets. I'm not sure there really is a market for that in the U.S.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like a flash dance thing?
I was gonna say
he took off the shoulder and just put across his broad, hairy back.
Yeah. I actually was gonna say, like, Jay, if you put that on, would you be flash dance? Because with a neck hole that big on you, I think you'd be flash dancing it. What the hell was her name? Jennifer We've done this
What
before.
a feeling. Leg warmers. I can
Yeah,
picture it all.
yeah. Everyone knows what we're talking about, right? The off-the-shoulder sweaters, flash dance.
Yeah, the eye is immediately drawn to the hairiness of this man.
Yeah.
Every time you see that. I saw a
He's a bear of a man. He really is. He'd make a good gay bear.
Yeah, that would be a fat and a hairy.
Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
I was recently watching a documentary. I think it was it's pretty old. I think from like 13 or 14 on HBO about
I can get
Bin
sucked
Laden.
into those, dude.
Yeah, and the guy who allowed that picture to be published said, they had the one where he's all in his little, Arab garb with the headdress and all that, with the glasses on. We've all seen that one. It's kind of a passport photo.
Is he bearded?
He's bearded.
Yeah.
But he's like, you know what? Fuck that. We're putting this one out.
Yes.
And we're showing all these assholes out here. This is how you end up, dude. You don't end up as a respectable person, like a passport picture photo guy. You end up like this, pulled out of bed with fucking paint chipping off the wall behind you and a shitty ass undershirt.
Yeah.
That can't even barely cover your fucking hairy body.
With a massive neck hole. The biggest, they're like, look, we're going to take a new picture of him. Find the biggest neck hole shirt you can find. Just go in the back, find a t-shirt with a massive neck hole, and get it out here. I want everyone to see what this gay bear looks like. This is the only way to show it off.
Do you think it's possible he slept in that so much that it stretched like that?
It doesn't look
Or is that
like...
just something we don't have in our markets?
I just think this is a hugely popular thing. A lot of times he'd be robed, and you wouldn't see this.
Yeah.
It's probably a comfort thing. It's probably a comfort thing.
God, it's weird.
I mean, it's tremendous. And he just went, can I just get the brush, please? And like, no, go fuck yourself, dude. Remember they did the same exact thing to Saddam Hussein. Remember those guys that he's got that disheveled hair,
Out of
that
the rat
video
hole.
out of the rat hole, and they're in his mouth with a flashlight.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
dehumanizing.
this guy has 20 gold palaces all over town. This is how he ends up, with fucking American fingers in his mouth and a flashlight, disheveled hair, looking like a piece of shit. Yeah.
And by the way, his palaces, those Saddam palaces, I was reading something by somebody recently.
Gaudy.
Dude, they were like fake. Like most of them were almost like movie studio sets where the shit was so cheap. Oh, it was our guy Bruce Campbell who went out to Iraq to film a bunch of shit. And he was saying like these things, they looked amazing like from a distance, but you get up close and it's like, oh my God, this is like
plastic painted
gold.
Totally.
Wow. None of it's real. None of it's crystal. It's all just plastic shit.
Isn't this story great too? When it's like so many of our military guys like moved into those mansions or hanging out in the pool and stuff. It's like half of them are half shelled, but it's like, dude, you're hanging out in Saddam's palace, like eating off his china. And
that must have been a morale buster for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do have some email, Mike.
What do you got?
Tara writes in, hey, Mike, you really do live under a rock.
It's true.
The Killers, who we referenced in conjunction with our discussion of the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame the other day. The Killers opened with a great Tom Petty cover.
American
the Killers, says Tara, have been touring for at least a year now for their new album that was released last year. Their video for The Man even had Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather in it. I believe the song was also used during the NFL season. They were here in January. We were lucky to see them in a smaller venue at the Masonic. Most other cities were much bigger venues. The show was awesome. In Jay's words, you need to get out more, man.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Download their album, Wonderful, Wonderful.
Is it good? Wonderful, Wonderful?
I have not.
Have you heard it?
I probably heard some of the songs off it.
I read it. Someone tweeted me an interview with their drummer that was pretty good as they were recording that. I think they recorded it in a small studio in Vegas where they're from. Weird story, man. Like the drummer and Brandon Flowers.
Yeah, they're from Utah or some shit.
No, they're from Vegas. But they're the only two members of the band that go on tour. The other two guys record.
What?
But they don't like touring because they don't want to be away from their family.
Oh, that's like that's
Fucking
why you're a rock star,
weird.
right?
Isn't that the weirdest thing you've ever heard? That Brandon and the drummer go out. I'm like, dude, how do those guys even make money? The money's in the tour, not the fucking albums.
I feel like I've seen them all on tour. Not personally, not in person, but I feel like I've seen videos of Killers concerts where they're the original band members.
And they were doing American Girl. That was the original guitarist and bass player. But they said rarely. So I don't think it means they don't
Albert
ever.
Hall in England.
But that could have been a special show. And because it said rarely do they tour with the band. And it's like, really? You can't get away from soccer practice for a weekend? I mean, Kid Rock has done the thing where it's like, dude, I only go out Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's it.
Family dudes, hey, if you can do it and that's your thing.
Mr. Brightside paid that much? You could shut it down? Jenny was a friend of mine, paid that much. Really?
Maybe.
God damn, those are good songs. I'm going to go listen to those. Here's the problem, really quick, touching on the Killers and why I get a pass. I spent the last 25 years, every Tuesday was Christmas morning to me. I would get off work and I would go directly to Best Buy. And I couldn't wait for new release day. It was like Nudie Magazine Day. Run out to the mailbox, Nudie Magazine Day. New release day is my favorite day of the week. Every Tuesday I would go and peruse the new albums and new movies. And I would always leave buying 3 or 4 of each. Every Tuesday. And now, when I go to the store, there's never any fucking new releases. They all stink.
You know what you can do?
They all stink. Nobody gives a shit about new music
you became
anymore.
an old man at some point.
You know what you can do?
I don't know any of the bands anymore. It's like
you became an old man at some point.
One day I knew everything. The next day I went in and went, who the fuck is Wiz Khalifa?
Okay.
God damn.
Well, what you can do is instead of paying fucking $15 for those,
I want the album cover and the jacket, E. That's how you roll doobies.
You can pay $10 a month and you can get Spotify and you can have New Music Fridays and fucking everything's out there.
I
You hear
know.
all the childish Gambino that you want, Mike.
I know. But, dude, there's something about opening the package of a new
I agree
Green
with
Day
that.
album
I fucking
and
love-
reading the liner notes. Like, I get into the whole process, dude. It's different for me. And I'm looking for deluxe versions with DVDs, content. Like, dude, I get rocked for that shit.
Right.
And so that's why I don't know. I haven't gone in a couple of years now because they just don't do special things anymore. So maybe I'll go get the Killers album.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
I'll listen to
They're
it
all
for
gone.
free.
Hold on, before you guys all hang up on us. Hold on. I know Jay just said that.
They're gone.
I have a
They're
couple. Hopefully, there's a couple listening because we're going to do a few minutes of extra content today. If you guys have a minute, there's a couple hilarious stories. Well, not hilarious isn't the one, but Dr. Dre is in a lawsuit with Dr. Dre, and so
Dr. Dre won.
He did.
Yeah.
You heard that?
And
Shit.
Dr. Dre lost.
Yeah. Well, poor Dr. Dre. I knew suing
But good
Dr.
for
Dre.
Yeah, good for Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Congrats, Dr. Dre.
Well, it's good news for Dr. Dre, but it's also terrible news for Dr. Dre.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And then there's a guy, and I wanted to ask you, Jay, what you think the going rate is. Like, if you had a neighbor, didn't you have a neighbor recently you don't like his dog or something?
Oh, I hate his fucking dog. Yeah.
If you were like, got to the point where you're like, the dog's owner needs to go down, what do you think you pay a hitman to properly take that out? You know what I mean?
God, what's the market?
What's the going rate?
Whoa, don't answer it now.
No, I know. We're going to get into extra content. We're going to find out. Because a white supremacist had to take this black guy down. And I thought, we'll get into it there.
Do you take a black guy down to Chinatown?
He tried. No, he didn't, thank God. But there's other elements to the story that are very, very disturbing, way more than that. But I think the price line bothered me.
Is that right?
Yeah, it did. But maybe I'm off. I haven't priced it out in a long time. I don't know what the going rate is today. So we'll discuss that.
That all white people are fucking devils.
Yes, they are. So hopefully some of you can join us over there for that in the members area. And the rest of you we'll see tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen, you guys.